What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNYcrypto. In this video we're going to be talking about some top 50 altcoins I think have huge potential for big return on investment by end of year. 3 to 5x returns I think is very possible for some of these top 50 coins. So I'm going to go over some of these and my thoughts, as well as go over some huge altcoin news for Avalanche and Hedera Hashgraph, some other cryptocurrencies that have also surged in the last couple weeks. So before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified for daily videos. So the last few weeks in the crypto space have been huge, specifically for some of these Ethereum alternatives like Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Avalanche up huge over the last week. Also projects like Polygon Matic, Cosmos, and Elrond Eagle. Other projects developing as well. So a lot of these have already seen 3 to 5x returns in a short period of time. So it's less likely they're going to see another 3 to 5x at this point, which is why I'm really focused on some of these top 50 projects that haven't seen a huge run up since the markets did start recovering on July 20th. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of these top 50 altcoins that I am bullish on, that I am dollar cost averaging, and I do personally believe have high potential by end of year. Keep in mind, it's just my personal opinion, and you should always do your own research. Make sure the project is something you actually believe in, and never buy an altcoin at a peak price unless you're willing to hold that altcoin very long term, because more likely than not, if you're buying at a peak, there will be a correction. You may get stuck having bought in at that higher price, either having to take a huge loss or just having to wait it out very long term. So before we jump into some of these altcoins I'm bullish on that I think have huge potential still by end of year, I do want to go over some altcoin news on some of these projects that have already pumped, like Avalanche AVAX up another 43% this week. New all-time highs here, $65 is huge. It also passed Chainlink and Litecoin in market cap today. Pretty huge. I wasn't expecting it to pass up Chainlink. Litecoin I could understand, but Chainlink is one of those projects I'm going to be talking about in this video. I think has huge potential. Litecoin I think has good potential as well, especially once we have Bitcoin breaking previous all-time highs. I think around that time is when we're going to see Litecoin passing $300 to $400 again. So I do want to talk about Litecoin, some interesting stuff happening with that this week, and why I'm bullish on this for the long term. So currently at a price of $185, only a $12.5 billion market cap, whereas Ethereum is $420 billion. We actually got some news for Litecoin today. So AMC adds Ethereum and Litecoin to year-end crypto adoption plans. I don't know if you guys remember, but AMC did announce they will be accepting Bitcoin as payment at their AMC locations, which is pretty huge, more adoption for Bitcoin. So I also think AMC will or already has made a large acquisition of Bitcoin that may be announced by end of year. So if they did that, that would be huge. It would make sense if they're adopting cryptocurrency like this, and it would be a big move, I think, for AMC stockholders as well. So once we start seeing a few companies that acquire a large amount of cryptocurrency and has a positive effect on their stock prices, we're going to start seeing a lot more companies starting to do the same. And I really think it's going to have that snowball effect where we start getting a flood of institutions buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when that happens, it's also going to create retail FOMO. Imagine mass institutional FOMO at the same time as mass retail FOMO. That's the scenario where we could see one of these super cycles everyone's talking about. I think that is possible at some point in 2022. I don't see that happening by end of year. So this news for Litecoin really didn't have any positive effect on the Litecoin price, but everyone's skeptical because there was some fake news earlier in the week about a partnership between Litecoin and Walmart, which quickly got denied. So if we check the 7-day chart here, we can see this massive spike in price. Litecoin going from 175 all the way up to $230, instantly crashing back after Walmart did make it clear that there was no partnership. So there was some articles on this as well. Definitely some bad press for Litecoin. Walmart says crypto payments announcement is fake. Litecoin tumbles after spike. So the thing is, the official Litecoin Foundation page actually shared the fake tweet about this news. And apparently there was an issue with whoever is managing that social media page got a little too excited and didn't verify the news before retweeting that, which did cause a lot of people to FOMO in all at once. I saw a lot of people that had longed Litecoin and pretty much got instantly liquidated from that because of the instant drop. So Litecoin went up 20% on that news, but it didn't go up at all on the AMC news shortly after. So going forward, I'm just holding my Litecoin. I'm also lending this in BlockFi. I do think this has huge potential since it's at $12.5 billion market cap. If that does a 3x, that's still under a $50 billion market cap, which is still a fraction of the market cap of Ethereum and Bitcoin. And Litecoin pretty much gets picked up and adopted with Bitcoin and Ethereum for everything else, like PayPal, AMC, many other platforms that have listed Litecoin just because it's one of the OG cryptocurrencies. So I do think that has some good potential end of year, especially if we get Bitcoin breaking previous all-time highs. I think Litecoin will be breaking its previous all-time high as well. On the chart here, we can see very drastic peaks. Litecoin did peak out, I believe, around $400 in May when the market did peak, and then everything dropped off, touching around $100 at the market bottom on July 20th. So this is one of the coins I'm just holding out that does definitely has that 3 to 5x potential here going forward. But I'm just lending this out in BlockFi, like I said, earning some passive income on it while I'm just holding, waiting for the price of Litecoin to appreciate. So if you guys want to get signed up with BlockFi, I do recommend using the link in the video description. Using that link will give you up to a $250 Bitcoin bonus, and then you'll start earning some passive income on your cryptocurrencies like Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and various stable coins. Pretty good percentages as well. Definitely much better than you're going to make keeping your money in a savings account. While the cryptocurrency is appreciating in price in the long term, earning passive income on it is a win-win. So BlockFi also has a credit card now with cash back paid in Bitcoin that automatically goes to your BlockFi account and is earning some compounding interest as well. Pretty interesting. So you can also get signed up for that through the link in the video description. I do recommend that. So next up, I do want to talk about Avalanche. That does have some big news. It also broke all-time highs again at $66, up almost 50% on the 7-day, and closing in on a $15 billion market cap. Also jumping into the top 15 in market cap, passing Chainlink and Litecoin. Pretty huge. So this definitely has more room for growth, in my opinion, being at a 14 billion market cap. If it is a major competitor to Ethereum and Cardano, taking a big amount of that market share, could definitely get to $30 billion market cap or more pretty easily, especially as everything else is in a general uptrend. So right now this is at a peak price. So like I said, don't buy peak prices unless you're willing to hold long term. Do your research and make sure Avalanche is something you believe in and something you think you can hold long term. So after we saw this huge price peak for AVAX in early February, over $50, I did start dollar cost averaging after it corrected. Every dip we had, I did dollar cost average and pick up more AVAX. Even after the market crashed, I continued dollar cost averaging because I believed in this in the long term. I knew as the market corrected, since this is a major competitor, that it would get a good market share. The ecosystem was growing at the same time. I did acquire a large amount, around $12 to $15 as well. I did acquire some in the trading series around that time, which is up huge also. So that's around a 5x now. So like I said, some of these projects are already 3 to 5x, so not as much profit potential going forward. But you would be surprised, some of these big projects, how much profit they can have even after doing a 5x like that. Doing another 3 to 5x as Bitcoin is breaking $100,000 could be possible. So there is some news with Avalanche also. Avalanche Foundation raises $230 million to support DeFi ecosystem. The news that really started picking it up as well, they made a similar announcement, $150 million for the DeFi ecosystem. So the smart contracts platform has made substantial progress within the DeFi space since its launch last year. So Avalanche did launch their mainnet in September of 2020, and since then they are now providing the infrastructure for over 270 industry projects, including SushiSwap, Chainlink, Circle, and The Graph, among many others, and a very quickly growing ecosystem. The $230 million capital raised through the private sale of its native token will be allocated to the foundation across a multitude of use cases within its blockchain, including grants, token purchases, and various forms of investments and technology support. So that's going to get a lot more projects using the Avalanche ecosystem and encourage people to actually start using it and picking up in volume. So next up, we have some news for Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. Haven't talked about this in quite a while. This was one of the first cryptos I picked up in the 1K to 10K trading series. This is now broken all-time high, around 50 cents. So that's under a $5 billion market cap still. Definitely high potential there going forward. If we look at the entire price history here, we can see this just recently broke all-time highs of 50 cents. Did peak out around 40 cents in April, but has been on a general downtrend after that, where it did bottom around 15 cents, pretty low. So up to 50 cents now, and I definitely think it has more potential going forward. This was a sharp incline. So like I said, don't buy peak prices, but this is definitely a coin that does have some good potential going forward. So Hedera Hashgraph has had some huge news over the past couple days, which is why the HBAR token has pumped to all-time highs. This was just posted today. The Hedera Governing Council has announced the approval of a plan to allocate 10.7 billion HBAR tokens, approximately 20% of the total supply, currently worth about $5 billion USD as of September 16th, towards the development of the Hedera ecosystem. So a huge chunk of the total supply of HBAR tokens will now be allocated to incentivizing new projects and development on Hedera Hashgraph, which the bigger the ecosystem grows, then the bigger the project gets, and the more people that hold HBARs as well. So this is definitely massive. This news was spreading. There was an article on this as well. Hedera Hashgraph rallies 150% in a week as its ecosystem expands. New partnerships, NFT integration, and a market-wide surge in altcoin prices back HBAR's recent 150% rally. So definitely some pretty bullish news here for HBAR. Hedera partnership expands HBAR's availability. NFTs come to the Hedera network, which is huge. A lot of projects are starting to do NFTs. We recently heard Avalanche doing this also. So the second source of excitement for the Hedera protocol has been the introduction of NFT minting capabilities on the network. Pretty huge. Definitely think the NFT space is just getting started as well, with all these new blockchains getting in and upgrades to Ethereum 2 coming, and layer 2 solutions like Immutable X for NFTs. It's going to be huge. If we could get greatly reduced gas fees on Ethereum, though, I don't know if many of these NFT competitors are really going to be able to compete. All right, guys, I do want to talk about some altcoins in the top 50. I think still have a 3 to 5x potential, possibly in the next couple months here. So the first one I did mention was Litecoin. The next one I think has very high potential is Chainlink. So this is currently under a $15 billion market cap, around $30. This hasn't recovered nearly as well as some of these other cryptocurrencies here. So we can see this price peaked in May with the market around $50 per link. This bottomed out pretty low here, around $15, now recovered to $30. So this definitely has huge potential going forward, being the top Oracle project in the crypto space. A lot of projects utilize Chainlink as well. So all it's going to take is one huge announcement, in my opinion, like we just saw with Avalanche and Hedera HBAR, to really make Link surge past $50 again. I definitely think a $100 Link is possible by end of year, and pretty likely, especially if Bitcoin breaks previous all-time highs. I definitely think a $100 Chainlink is in the cards. So that's another one of my cryptos I think could do a 3 to 5x in the top 50. Besides that, like I have been talking about, EOS. So this is currently at $5 and under a $5 billion market cap. This is another blockchain that has high potential, and they are launching a big exchange by end of year. They have billions of dollars in funding. They actually have more funding than the market cap of EOS itself, which is very interesting. So we can see the recent peak here didn't even really peak that high, very temporarily hitting $15, but quickly dumping off with the rest of the market. This bottomed out around $3.50, and this actually peaked much higher during the last bull market. So it did peak out over $20, was the all-time high. So just getting back to previous all-time highs is a 4x potential from the current price. With everything they're working on, all the big names they have backing this, I definitely see this as a safe and solid bet going forward. Of course, in the short term, I don't know when this is going to move. It's really going to take a big announcement, in my opinion, like it did with these other projects, and we have no idea when that's going to happen. So they did state earlier this year the Bullish exchange, which is that big exchange they're launching, will be launching by the end of 2021. So once we get the announcement of the launch date for that, I think that's when the price of EOS will start picking up. They are working on an NFT platform called Voice as well. Both of these platforms use the EOS blockchain, which will show the capabilities. I'm sure they'll do a fund like Avalanche and Hedera Hashgraph recently announced as well, but probably much more money. So as soon as we get some big announcements there, that's when this is going to pump and have that 3 to 5x potential, in my opinion. All All right, guys, so I quickly want to talk about VeChain and THETA. I always get requests on these two cryptocurrencies. Previously, I did a review on THETA a long time ago when they were launching one of their mainnets, and the price at that time was under 50 cents. This actually peaked out over $11 in March. So that has about a 2x potential, just returning to previous all-time highs. These are both under an $8 billion market cap. Both projects doing big things, incorporating blockchain and solving huge world problems. So definitely two cryptocurrencies I think have huge potential, but I do need to take a deeper dive into both of these projects before doing a proper review on them and discussing them further. I do hold a very small amount of VeChain and THETA as well. So definitely two coins that haven't really surged yet compared to these other projects. As we can see on VeChain, that did peak out pretty high here with the market over 25 cents in April. And now the current price sitting pretty solid around 12 cents. So that's definitely looking like a good buy zone. With any huge announcement, this can definitely break upwards back to previous all-time highs around 25 cents. A quick 2x there. That's if there's any huge announcement that does draw major demand to the project though. So besides that, there's definitely a lot more that will have huge profits going forward. Pretty much every crypto moves up in general, with Bitcoin and Ethereum in a general uptrend. But what I'm really looking for is the ones that are going to do the highest return on investment and have the highest potential with big partnerships. Anything that drives a lot of demand to these projects is what's going to be driving a lot of demand to the token and causing a huge price surge. So that's really what I like to look for, is huge upcoming events. Based on that is how I make my investments, trying to be ahead of the herd and see where that demand is headed. So I get a lot of people commenting and asking why I don't mention certain altcoins in the top 100. And the fact is that I just can't cover and be up to date on all top 100 cryptocurrencies, especially because most of my focus is in really small cap cryptocurrencies and the NFT space right now, where there's massive profits. I've seen over 100x on a few different NFTs, and the small cap altcoins is where you're going to find that 100x. Also, of course, that's the highest risk. So make sure you know what you're doing before looking at those type of projects. But out of the top 100, a few projects here I think have huge potential besides what I've already mentioned. Elrond Eagle seems to be a good one. That's already up 40% though on the 7-day. But going forward, that's a $5 billion market cap and another blockchain here that does have high potential. Also, PancakeSwap Cake token, I hold a lot of that. As BNB and the Binance chain gets more popular, Cake token will also get more popular. Huge passive income opportunities with that as well, and very easy to set up. So that's about it for my picks out of the top 50 right now. I may add more later. Keep in mind I'm one person. I can't do a deep dive into every single one of these projects. A lot of these I do hold small amounts of though, that I just haven't done a deep dive on though. So below the top 50 here, I would recommend looking into Helium HNT. I did previously mention this, but like I said, I need to do more research on that and do a deep dive on that, but definitely an interesting project. Besides that, the gaming altcoins I think have huge potential. Even in a bear market, people will want to play these games to earn cryptocurrency. So Decentralized Mana at a $1.5 billion market cap, under $1 now. Engine ENJ coin under 170, and this did peak out over $3. So this has about a 2x potential still. So below this, the Sandbox token, I've been acquiring dollar cost averaging that one pretty much the heaviest out of the majority of these gaming coins. It is smaller market cap. I do think it's going to have a lot more users. It's a lot like Minecraft, and that playing style is extremely popular. Adding NFTs and cryptocurrency to that I think is going to be very successful. They get a ton of partnerships as well. So I will be doing more videos going more in depth on coins below the top 100 that I'm bullish on going forward, also in the upcoming couple weeks. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell. If you guys did find this video useful, I appreciate you guys share it, like it, comment below, and like I said, be sure you're subscribed for future content. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.